Hey guys, welcome back to Origami Twist. My name's Jen, and in today's video we're celebrating Boxing Day with another origami box. This is something I've done at least a few times over the past few years, is celebrate Boxing Day with a box. And today's no exception. This is easily one of my favorite boxes of all time because it is so elegantly simple and yet extremely attractive. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. So I'm actually, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm actually holding a rectangular piece of paper. This is an A5 piece of paper, which is a half of an A4. That's the standard sizes that we use here in Australia. You could use 8.5 by 11. You can use an A4. I'm using A5 because it fits on the screen. The size of the rectangle will determine the final size of your box. And you can get all kinds of fun different shapes based on the size of the rectangle you use. So I highly recommend doing some experimenting. But today we're going to use an A5 sheet of paper. And the first thing we're going to do is bring one side up to the other side and create a good crease. Making sure it's nice and accurate because it will be a fall-on effect. You know, one fold goes into another. And then once again, we are going to fold it in half again without changing the orientation at all. Okay, so unfold the whole paper and we have 3 creases created here. We're then going to take the bottom right-hand corner, bring it up to that bottom crease, taking this edge here and lining it up with the crease completely, and making a crease. Same thing on the other side, except backwards. So this edge here will line up with the crease. And as with many origami folds, you don't want that edge to go over the crease, just right up to it, and as accurate as possible. Okay, once you've turned the paper over and those flaps are underneath and facing toward you, we are now going to create a grid system by folding this edge over to this point and this edge over to this point. And you can line it up by using the edge where the different creases are and lining that whole thing up in a nice straight line with these creases. And you can also line up this corner with the rest of the, or this edge with the rest of the edge, so it's nice and straight. So we're going to start over on the right to make this nice and neat by using the edge of this flap and making sure you pivot at that point where the triangle meets. Then we're going to come over to the left, line it up nice and neatly, and then to make it really accurate, once again, line those creases up with themselves. Like so. Open it up and do the same thing on the other side. Lining up the triangle first, giving it a good pinch, making sure it's pivoted, bring it over here, line up that edge with the edge, and then line up the middle to make sure it's really nice and accurate, like so. Okay, open it up, and still your flaps are on the bottom. We're now going to focus on these top 2 corners. Now, we're not folding in. We actually need to fold where the intersection of these 2 marks are, or the creases are, and that corner. So I'll give you a quick indication because we are working under lights here. So where that intersection is, and there's a similar one over here, and the corner. So I'm going to, probably the easiest way to do this is to lift this up, matching this crease with this crease to make sure it's accurate, and making sure that this folds in half. And so if you bring it up and over, match it up like so, and making sure this folds in half, you come back to where that intersection is and give it a good crease. Now this may seem a bit tricky and annoying and whatever, but you're going to find that once you get the box created, this is going to be a nearly magical interaction. One of the reasons I love origami is for moments like that. So same thing on this side, but backwards. So we've got a crease here and a crease here. We want them to line up on each other nice and neatly. And create that crease where this corner is folded in half, and you pinch it right to that intersection. Notice I allow the paper to come all the way up. That's so that this is really accurate and I don't accidentally go too far with the creasing, because you only want that corner to be creased. Here you go. Next things next, we're going to fold the paper in half again. So from bottom up over the top like so. And so there are those flaps again, and now you can see creases coming out of the upper right hand corners like that. Now because these are all segmented, thanks to our fold a few moments ago, we now have an area where we can fold. You're going to take the corner into where everything intersects, just like that, lining it right up, right along with that top flap there. You can line them right up without overlapping, and do the same thing on the other side. Just bring it up to those intersecting creases without going over this flap. There you go. Now, here's the fun part. You're going to fold this whole flap down as though it's one flap and not two. It's the whole thing. Fold it down and lift up with your index fingers here. And when you do, you can see that you've just created a half a box. Pretty cool, right? Now, it gets better. Those creases we made before that were slightly awkward have created tabs to now insert into these gorgeous little triangles here. So if we pinch the whole thing together like so, it creates one triangle, and then we insert the triangle underneath the other triangle, and I call this two triangles in a cube, two triangles to a cube, and there you go. That's my nickname for this one. I don't know what it's really called. Triangle box, maybe. Okay, so once again, same thing on the other side. It's sort of, once you've gotten to this point, it's really obvious where the next one is because it kind of wants to be a box at this point. You've conditioned it to become a box based on your folds. So once again, same thing. You've got a little tab under there. You're going to take that triangle, which fits perfectly underneath that tab or the pocket, and give it a good crease. And you've created an adorable two triangles in a cube box for Boxing Day. These make great drawer organizers, especially if you use a larger size piece of paper to make them. You could pop socks in them or what have you. Use it as a gift box. Use it as an organizational box as you go into the new year, getting all of your ducks in a row. And I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I make lots of videos, and I have made lots of videos. There's a ton of resources available for you on my channel, and I hope you enjoy them. Hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Have a great day, guys. Happy Boxing Day, and we'll see you again really soon with another video. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.